Views, beliefs, perspectives. Everyone has an opinion. Today, we'll explore words that describe different types of opinions, from bias to judgment. With definitions, real-world examples, and images, let's talk about the language of opinions. View is noun, a site or prospect, typically of natural scenery, that can be seen from a particular place. An opinion, belief, or perspective about something, a particular way of looking at or thinking about a matter. From our vantage point on the hill, we had a panoramic view of the city below. The politician expressed her views on education reform during the televised debate. There are differing views among scientists about the causes of climate change. The hotel room offered a stunning view of the ocean and coastline. His view of the world was shaped by his upbringing and cultural background. Outlook is noun, a person's or organization's expectation or forecast about the future, especially concerning economic or political conditions. A view, prospect, or prospectus, especially one seen in a particular direction or aspect. Her outlook on life was optimistic and positive. The economic outlook for the country was bleak. The report provided a detailed outlook on the industry. The outlook for the weather was sunny and warm. The company's outlook for the future was uncertain. Outlook as verb, to expect or anticipate the future, especially concerning economic or political conditions. To look out at, to view from a particular angle or aspect. The apartment is oriented to provide an outlook over the city. The hotel rooms offer a beautiful outlook over the beach. The house was designed to maximize the outlook over the valley. The hike offers a stunning outlook over the mountain range. The balcony provides an outlook over the garden. Interpretation as noun, a particular understanding, explanation, or perspective given to something, often influenced by personal beliefs, biases, or cultural context. The act or process of explaining, understanding, or deciphering the meaning of something, such as a text, artwork, or event. Cultural differences can lead to divergent interpretations of customs, traditions, and symbols. His interpretation of the data led to a groundbreaking discovery in the field of genetics. The film director's interpretation of the classic novel received mixed reviews from critics and audiences. The artist's interpretation of the landscape was praised for its unique perspective and emotional depth. Different scholars offer varying interpretations of the ancient manuscript, leading to ongoing debate. Belief is noun, a strongly held opinion or conviction, an acceptance that something exists or is true, especially without proof. The company's success was built on the founder's unwavering belief in their product. His belief in the power of positive thinking helped him overcome many obstacles in life. Religious beliefs often shape people's values and behaviors. She held a deep-seated belief in equality and justice for all. Despite evidence to the contrary, his belief in conspiracy theories remained steadfast. Standpoint as noun, a mental or emotional posture adopted towards a situation, issue, or problem, an individual's subjective understanding or interpretation of reality, a particular point of view, perspective, or position, especially one shaped by personal beliefs, experiences, or interests. It's important to consider the patient's standpoint when developing treatment plans for chronic illnesses. From a historical standpoint, the decision had far-reaching implications for future generations. From a practical standpoint, investing in renewable energy makes economic sense and reduces environmental impact. The company's standpoint on data privacy was influenced by recent legal developments and public opinion. The author's feminist standpoint influenced her analysis of gender dynamics in the novel. Judgment as verb. The ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions. The act or process of forming an opinion, evaluation, or decision based on careful consideration or analysis. She judged the situation carefully before making her decision. The coach judged that it was the right time to make a substitution. He judged the quality of the product based on its features and performance. The jury carefully judged the evidence presented during the trial before reaching a verdict. They judged the applicant's suitability for the job based on their qualifications and experience. Perspective as noun. A particular attitude toward or way of regarding something, a point of view. A particular point of view or way of looking at something. His perspective on the matter was based on his personal experience. We need to consider this issue from a broader perspective. The new policy was implemented to address the concerns raised by a different perspective. The novel offered a glimpse into the perspectives of different characters. Her perspective on the issue has changed over time. Philosophy is noun. A system of beliefs, concepts, and attitudes about the nature of reality, existence, and knowledge. The study of the fundamental nature of knowledge, existence, reality, and ethics. Eastern philosophy emphasizes the importance of living in harmony with nature and finding inner peace. The book discusses the philosophy of religion and explores different approaches to understanding faith and belief. Her philosophy was to always do her best and treat others with kindness, no matter the circumstances. His philosophy on work-life balance was to prioritize family and personal time, rather than just working long hours. The school's philosophy was to encourage students to become lifelong learners and independent thinkers. Sentiment as noun. A view or attitude toward a particular subject or topic, an opinion or feeling often influenced by emotion. Emotional expression or communication, especially in writing or speech, the expression of feelings or emotions. Public sentiment toward the new policy was largely negative. The poem captured the sentiment of longing and nostalgia for a bygone era. The sentiment of love and gratitude was evident in her farewell letter. The sentiment expressed in his speech resonated with many of the audience members. There was a sentiment of unity and solidarity among the protesters. Conviction as noun. A firmly held belief or opinion. The judgment of a jury or judge that a person is guilty of a crime is charged. The defendant's conviction was based on overwhelming evidence. Despite opposition, he held firm to his convictions. The prosecutor argued for the defendant's conviction on charges of fraud. His conviction for armed robbery resulted in a lengthy prison sentence. She spoke with conviction about the importance of protecting the environment. Notion as noun. A concept or idea, an opinion, belief, or impression. He has a notion that he can fix the car himself. The notion of a utopian society has intrigued philosophers for centuries. The notion of traveling the world appeals to many people. The notion of justice is different in various cultures. I have a notion that we've met before. Thought as verb. To form or have in the mind, conceive. To have consideration or contemplation about something. I thought about what you said, and I agree with your perspective. He thought deeply about the consequences of his actions before making a decision. They thought it best to postpone the meeting until everyone was available. She thought about her future career prospects while studying in university. The team thought through various strategies before settling on the most effective one. Thought as noun, a product of mental activity, an idea or concept formed by the mind. The process of thinking, cognition, mental activity involving the manipulation of information. Deep thought is required to solve complex problems in mathematics and science. The novel explores the inner thoughts and emotions of its characters through first-person narration. Her thoughts drifted back to childhood memories as she flipped through old photo albums. Philosophers have long pondered the nature of thought and consciousness. The scientist's groundbreaking theory emerged from years of careful thought and experimentation. Ideology is noun, a system of ideas and ideals, especially one that forms the basis of economic or political theory and policy. The set of beliefs characteristic of a social group or individual. The filmmaker's movies often reflect his anti-establishment ideology. His ideology was rooted in the principles of socialism. Religious ideology played a significant role in shaping societal norms in the region. The political party's ideology emphasized individual liberty and limited government intervention. The company's ideology prioritized environmental sustainability and social responsibility. Assessment as noun, the act of evaluating or appraising a situation, person, or thing. The process of determining the value, importance, or quality of something. The teacher conducted an assessment of her students' understanding of the material through a series of quizzes and tests. The company conducted a risk assessment to identify potential hazards in the workplace. The real estate agent conducted an assessment of the property's value based on market conditions and comparable sales. The doctor performed a thorough assessment of the patient's symptoms to make a diagnosis. The government commissioned an assessment of the environmental impact of the proposed construction project. Perception as noun, the process of becoming aware of, understanding, or interpreting sensory information received from the environment through the senses. The mental act or ability of recognizing and interpreting stimuli. The way in which something is perceived or understood. A person's mental impression or understanding of a situation, idea, or experience. The artist's work challenges conventional perceptions of beauty and aesthetics. Public perception of the company's brand has been negatively impacted by recent scandals. There is a growing perception that environmental issues require urgent attention from policymakers. Our perception of reality is influenced by our individual experiences and beliefs. The study explores how language shapes perception and cognition. Attitude is noun, a person's feelings or opinions about something or someone, often shown in their behavior. A settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. The teacher's attitude towards their students and their subject matter had an impact on their motivation and engagement. The athlete's attitude towards training and competition influenced their performance and results. The employee's positive attitude towards work and colleagues made them a valuable asset to the company. The student's attitude towards studying and learning affected their grades and academic success. The politician's attitude towards the opposing party and their policies shaped their public image and popularity. Perspective as adjective, a particular attitude toward or way of regarding something, a point of view. A visual representation of a subject as it is seen from a particular point. The article offered a fresh perspective on a topic that had been widely discussed. Her perspective on the situation was quite different from mine. She has a unique perspective on the issue that is worth considering. The movie was shot from an interesting perspective, which made it more engaging. His perspective as a historian allowed him to provide valuable insights on the topic. Position as noun. A particular role, status, or rank within a social, organizational, or hierarchical structure. The condition or situation of being situated in a specific role or function. The location, place, or arrangement of something in relation to its surroundings or context. The spatial orientation or placement of an object, individual, or entity. He assumed a kneeling position to propose marriage to his partner. The ship's captain ordered a change in position to avoid the storm. In the company hierarchy, she holds a high-level executive position. The team's strong defensive position allowed them to secure a victory in the game. As a teacher, she enjoys a position of authority and influence over her students. Stance as noun. A particular attitude, viewpoint, or position on a subject or issue. A firm opinion or belief, especially one publicly expressed. The position or posture of a person's body, especially when standing or sitting. The way in which someone holds themselves physically. His defensive stance suggested that he was prepared for a confrontation. The company's stance on corporate social responsibility was outlined in its annual report. She stood with a confident stance, hands on hips, as she addressed the audience. The politician's stance on immigration reform was clear and unwavering throughout the campaign. The professor took a neutral stance on the controversial topic, encouraging students to explore different perspectives. View as verb. To look at or observe something, especially with attention, scrutiny, or interest. To regard or consider something in a particular way. To have an opinion or perspective. From the mountaintop, we could view the entire valley spread out below us. The detective carefully viewed the evidence, searching for clues to solve the mystery. She viewed the situation with skepticism, doubting the sincerity of his intentions. He viewed the painting with admiration, appreciating the artist's skill and creativity. The committee will view the proposal at its next meeting and make a decision. Position as verb. To hold or occupy a specific role, status, or rank within a social, organizational, or hierarchical structure. To be situated or located in a particular position or condition. To place or arrange something in a particular location or orientation. To set or adjust the spatial arrangement of an object, individual, or entity. He positioned the chairs in a circle for the meeting. The troops were positioned strategically along the border. The company positioned its products as luxury items to attract high-end consumers. She carefully positioned herself behind the podium before delivering her speech. The politician strategically positioned himself as a champion of the working class during the election campaign. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.